Norman Borlaug was born in 1914 on a small farm in Iowa. Here he learned firsthand the challenges of growing enough food to survive. He pursued studies in plant pathology and genetics, which set him on a path that would eventually save millions of lives. In the 1940s, Norman joined a project in Mexico aimed at improving wheat production. At the time, Mexico and much of the developing world were facing food shortages and devastating crop diseases. Some would lose huge portions of their harvest to a fungus called stem rust, and traditional varieties of wheat produce low yields. This knowledge helped push Norman to begin experimenting with crossbreeding wheat plants. He worked long days in the fields, even planting multiple crops a year to speed up the process. After years of painstaking research, he developed new strains of wheat that were both high-yielding and disease-resistant. These varieties could thrive in different climates and produced far more grain than traditional strains. The impact was immediate and profound. Mexico, once dependent on imports, became self-sufficient in wheat by the 1950s. Norman Borlaug then took his work to India and Pakistan in the 1960s, when both nations were on the brink of mass famine. By introducing his high-yield wheat and teaching modern farming techniques, wheat harvests skyrocketed. Within a few years, India went from famine fears to becoming one of the world's leading wheat producers. This agricultural transformation became known as the Green Revolution. Norman's methods spread across Asia, Latin America, and Africa, saving entire regions from starvation. Experts estimate his work saved over 1 billion people from hunger. Despite his achievements, Norman stayed humble, often insisting that hunger was a problem for both science and human will. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970 for his role in feeding the world, but many outside of the agricultural or scientific circles have never heard of him. Norman Borlaug passed away in 2009 at the age of 95. His legacy lives on every time a farmer plants high-yield crops and every time a child eats food that might not have existed without his work.